What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And as always, I invite you to like, to share, and to subscribe. And of course, when you subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get all of the notices for when I drop these illustrious videos. And also, guys, notice that there's a super thanks feature on all of my videos. So if you want to contribute to the channel, you can do it that way. It lights up your comment. I see it, and I do my very best to respond to every super thanks comment that I see. All right, guys, so let's get into this because, as you know, She-Hulk dropped last week. All right, so we got the first episode of She-Hulk. Must have been a whopping, like 25-30 minutes. And it was merciful because, honestly, they had no story to tell whatsoever. I don't even know why this thing exists. They had no CGI that was impressive. I mean, it would have been impressive if this was like, I don't know, 2001 or something, but what we saw, whatever, it was what it was. But even worse was the lack of story. There was nothing going on here. Like, there's only a couple of things. I mean, I don't even think this thing deserves a review, but there are a couple of things of note that I want to point out, such as becoming a Hulk is now an infectious disease. If he gets blood on you, I guess, breathes on you, I don't know, you'll become a Hulk. I don't know if we're dealing with, Dr. Banner or Dr. Fauci at this point. It's an infectious disease. Maybe if Jennifer had been wearing a mask, this would never have happened. Maybe that's what's going on here. This is one of those pro-mask, pro-jab type of shows. I have no idea, but that's one thing, okay? The second thing is, for some reason, they thought it was clever to be speculating about Captain America's sex life, which honestly, nobody in the world was thinking about, and I don't mean that in a, wow, that's something I never thought about. That's a boom, mind-blowing moment. No, nobody thought about it because nobody cares. But this was played for laughs way too much, to the point where it made Jennifer look kind of creepy. Like if you had a male lead who was wondering this about, say, Black Widow or something like that, then you'd have a bunch of articles being written about misogyny and, the male gaze and all of this stuff. But okay, we're going to float this. This is, I guess this would be considered character development for something that is like really, really severely lacking in character development, which is this show, which brings me to the point of all of this, okay? Because one thing that I guess really stuck out more than anything in this whopping, 30-minute thing was Jennifer Walters, I believe her name is, right? The She-Hulk. She obviously is better than Dr. Banner at everything. She's a better Hulk, okay? And once again, this betrays what I've always been talking about before. There is nothing wrong with having a female lead, but what we tend to see over and over again is your female leads have no character flaws, which make them very bland. They're not interesting to watch. They're not going to be overcoming anything. She's already good at everything. It's boring that way, you know what I mean? And there you have it. I mean, that's the only thing you could possibly get from this, because the whole thing was basically about Dr. Banner trying to train her. In every step of the way, she was proving that she didn't need to be trained. And basically what it boiled down to is that women make better Hulks because they're in control of their anger and emotion, right? And if we needed any more of an explanation of this, or a more of a deep dive into this, we have this article here on CBR.com that I want to share with you guys, because it's there, and this is supposed to be what we're taking away from this. So it says here, right, on CBR.com, She-Hulk confirms, all right, this has been confirmed, that women make better Hulks, period. You know what I just realized? That's kind of I don't know if that was meant to be a pun there. They make for better Hulks, period. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, first of all, you would imagine, right, that with a woman's period, and I'm going to go there, right, because there tends to be a hormonal imbalance and stuff like that, the anger, the agitation or whatever, wouldn't that kind of trigger the Hulk? I mean, I know I'm being ignorant here, guys, but I'm just saying, women make better Hulks, period. Okay, in She-Hulk's premiere, Jen Walters boldly tells her cousin Bruce Banner the reason why she's a better Hulk. The fact that she deals with sexism. Okay, the fact that she deals with sexism makes her a better Hulk. Let's see what they're talking about here. In She-Hulk's premiere episode, Jennifer Walters undergoes her Hulk training montage under the tutelage of her cousin Bruce Banner, who's been the Hulk in various forms for 15 years. Since Bruce had no guidance and assistance in learning how to integrate his Hulk identity with himself, which made him interesting, not Mark Ruffalo, by the way, I'd rather have Ed Norton. I ain't talking about the honeymooners either, you know what I mean. He takes it upon himself to train Jen in ways of Ralphie boy. I'm sorry, I had to do it. In the ways of being the Hulk. But where Bruce took a decade and a half to come even close to understanding his Hulk identity, Jen takes to it naturally, even surpassing him. Shocker! Now see, what's aggravating about this? It wouldn't be like this would just be her character, if not for the fact that every female lead is shown to be this way. You know, whether it's Rey automatically just becoming the bestest ever, whether it's Michael Burnham in Discovery, just everything just comes naturally to her. They are boring. They have nothing to overcome. They have no character flaws whatsoever. Of course she has no problem managing her anger. She's perfect. She can do all of this because she's a woman. I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never, ever, ever let you forget you're a man, 'cause I'm a woman. Anything you can do, she can do better, right? So anyway, okay. And for a reason that strikes at the reality of living as a woman, both in the workplace and out. She has, like the episode's title suggests, a normal amount of rage for someone in her situation. Bruce is concerned that Jen won't be able to control her ability to tolerate stress and anger, so she could Hulk out and cause immense destruction like he did in the Avengers and the Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, of course, Jen dismisses this, arguing that controlling her anger is simply a fact of life for her because of the constant catcalling and mansplaining she puts up with on a daily basis. She explains that because she fears being called overly emotional or difficult to work with and being killed, she has to keep that anger inside, even if she wants to keep her job or her life. She-Hulk makes one thing clear. Jennifer has an easier time being Hulk because she is already angry about how the world treats her, just because she's a woman. Okay? All right, so the implication here is the mere fact of being a woman, generally speaking, okay, because they can't even give her the respect of being an individual. Just the mere fact that she is of the woman, the female gender, means automatically that she can control her anger. Okay, so my question is, have you ever heard of, like a really old saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned? Like, where do you think that comes from, guys? Have you ever heard about a woman snapping out, slashing a man's car tire, throwing a brick through his window? You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know, cutting a man's member off, you know, things like that. I mean, it happens, right? And it happens because there are some women who cannot control their anger. But we are being led to believe that women, just the mere fact that they are women, means that they can control their anger. Now, along those lines, right, just because she's persecuted, because she's marginalized, because she has to deal with this type of thing. All right, this is part of that mentality that we saw in Falcon and Winter Soldier, when Falcon goes into this, hey man, I'm a black man in America. You don't know what I gotta go through. It's all, listen man, see, this is that annoying thing. Just because you can say that some people have to go through some stuff, you assume, all right, because what this is one more overblown attack on white manhood. That's what this really is. It isn't really about men, women, all that stuff. It's just an attack on white manhood, more of the same that we've been getting with Marvel, Disney, you know, all of these people out here. I hate to use the term, but all of these woke things that we see today, it all boils down to the same thing. So by this logic, I would assume that black people would probably make great Hulks too. But see, here's the thing, right? Being a Hulk, so-called being a Hulk, not the Hulk, but being a Hulk means that you're triggered by anger, right? And if you're triggered by anger, every person has a different temperament, right? So what makes you angry as a woman doesn't necessarily have anything to do with what makes somebody angry as a man, and the way that they might deal with it and cope with it is also based upon the individual. You know, this is a very simplistic way of looking at it. Different people have different ways and also different lines in the sand. You know, when Popeye stands up and says, "That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more," he's reached his breaking point. You know, his breaking point is not going to be the same as somebody else's. But the mere fact that she's a woman means that women can handle their anger better than men. The only thing is, like I said, why does she even become a Hulk at this point? Oh yeah, it's an infectious disease. So all she has to do is just turn into a Hulk and then turn off from a Hulk. But damn, that's very boring. It's very bland. It's like I said before, what's the point? And we saw that in this episode. There was nothing to it. It only existed to show that she's better than Bruce Banner. Even at the end, when the Beyonce lookalike comes busting in and she beats her like that. Like, there's no tension, there's no nothing. Like, this show has got to be the most uneven, most unnecessary thing I've ever seen in my life. And it's a shame, because I really like the lead actress, Tatiana. She's very, very talented. When I saw her in Orphan Black, she played a whole bunch of different people convincingly, you know. But what we see here, there's no challenge. And this is the first episode. I know some people, oh, you just have to see the way it turns out. You can't judge it until the end. I'm talking about one episode, all right? And I'm also talking about this article right here that confirms that women make better Hulks. The only thing is, like I said before, it doesn't make an interesting Hulk. We want character flaws. You know, we want things that they have to overcome, character development. If you really want to serve women well and women characters, you will flesh out their characters. If you want to serve black characters, gay characters, whatever you want, you can start by not like highlighting gender, you know, highlighting race, and go straight to writing a compelling, interesting character. But no, they're not going to do that. And thus you get articles like this and takeaways like that. You know, but, you know, that's the way it is, guys. But what do you think? I mean, what did you think of the episode? Did you like it? You know, they did a couple of fourth wall breakings, which really didn't work for me either. You know, just really lazy writing where you just lean on the identity politics thing, guys. It's just, it sucks, you know, and I can only hope that it just gets better in coming episodes. I have no idea. This thing is supposed to be a comedy. Didn't make me laugh about anything, you know, except maybe the shitty CGI. You know, I kind of chuckled about that when I saw it, because it kind of is like taking a step back. But guys, let me know how you feel about this. Do you feel that women make better Hulks? You know, this is not an anti-woman thing. This is a pro-woman thing. I really want to see women represented better on these shows and in these movies, guys, because this is insulting. You know, it really, really is. I mean, that's the way I see it. But of course, get in the comment section. Let me know how you see it. Once again, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.